Welcome to Digital Marketing This Week. It's for July 26, 2014. Hope everyone's week has been great and you are ready for some fun topics all about sales funnels this week. Of course, this is all brought to you by Seriously Simple Marketing over at SeriouslySimpleMarketing.com. My name is Chris Mercer. I am a content developer for Seriously Simple Marketing as well as an optimization expert. In fact, that's sort of the day job where we spend our time working with 6, 7, and even now 8-figure marketers, helping to improve their sales funnels and their whole process in general to make revenue rise. The host of DMTW, of course, Digital Marketing This Week, and I go by Mercer. So if you happen to see me at a conference or walking through the hallways and want to grab my attention, there's always another Chris in the room, so just yell out Mercer and everybody knows who you're talking about, including myself. Okay, so we're going to cover some trends, tips, and tools. And for this particular episode, I really want you to focus, actually for all episodes, but you really want to focus on just getting that one idea, one takeaway. Because with topics like this, in this case, where the focus topic for this week is sales funnels, and it's a very, very big topic. So we're going to kind of take a higher level view, but we will be getting into some pretty interesting details that I think you're going to find pretty useful. But you're just looking for one idea, because if you go through and you try to grab everything, chances are you're going to feel a little bit of overwhelm. Chances are it's going to be a whole lot harder to implement. Chances are you won't implement, and of course you're not going to see results. So really what you want to do is just find that one idea where you go, okay, cool, I can do this, and then take that and implement it, and then come back to the replay later. And at that point, take another idea, and at that point, take another idea. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Now, again, the topic for this one's going to be sales funnels, and our particular focus on sales funnels is going to be on the 7 different steps that every successful sales funnel has, and then one thing that every sales funnel must avoid. Now, throughout this process, you might have a question. If you're watching this live, all you need to do is go to ssm.tips/question, and you can put in a question on that form, and it can be about what we're covering now, which of course is all about sales funnels, or if you have another internet marketing type question, or WordPress, or Autoresponders, or whatever it is that you kind of been wondering about or having a challenge with, just put it in that form. If you want us to take a look at your website, you can definitely do that, and then we'll put it live if we have your permission. If not, that's fine too. But at least put the question in there, and as much detail as you can give us in those questions, just because it helps us give you better answers. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back into our topic. This is all about sales funnels, and it's the 7 steps to the perfect sales funnel, and the one thing every funnel must avoid. Now, as a little bonus, put a little treasure chest up there, we actually had when we were going through and we were building this, we came up with, we found a particular resource which is pretty amazing, super, super useful, and it was kind of a nice little hack, so we're going to show that to you at the very end as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward with step number 1. So the very first thing that you want to do when it comes to sales funnels is you want to plan. You need to build a blueprint of what the sales funnel looks like. Now, I'm actually going to be doing this kind of live as we go, and we'll come up with an example sales funnel. What we use, I'm switching over here now to Lucidchart. So we use Lucidchart for our flow mapping or flow charting, and there are various services that are out there. There's Lucidchart, there's Gliffy, there's a bunch of different flow charting services out there. We like Lucidchart, so I'm just going to show that here. Now, what we typically will do, this is just sort of how we think about in terms of, we build this out kind of as we go. We think about 3 main parts, which is going to be the traffic, our front end, and then down here, our third section here is going to be the back end, okay? So what we're going to do as we blueprint this out, so we're just going to grab over a little box, and all the blueprint really is you thinking through the sales funnel. We speak to a lot of people who, when they're first starting out, they really don't think through the sales funnel as a whole. What they do is they go, okay, well, here's what my offer needs to be, or they focus on that one offer, which is great. You need to have that offer, and you need to define that, but that's a part of a much larger process. So what we'll assume here is, okay, we've got traffic, and let's say we're doing Facebook. And so, okay, so for this funnel, it's going to be Facebook PPC traffic, and then it's going to go to a front-end offer, and that front-end offer is going to be, let's say for our case, it'll be an opt-in. Okay, so we're not asking for any money up front, it'll be an opt-in. And then as soon as they go to that opt-in, then it's going to be a little entry point, $7 offer. And then from there, we're going to bump them into an offer that's going to be kind of let's say a $37 offer. And if they say, let's just say that's a upsell, so we're going to say if they say yes to this, If they say no, we're going to bump them to a $10 offer. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. We're going to bump them to a $17 offer, just for kicks. Okay, so let's see, make sure that's no. All right, so roughly, again, we're just kind of doing this quick. This is kind of what our front end of the funnel looks like. Now, on the back end, that would be kind of after that initial experience through the funnel, we might have some follow-up sequences that can come through and then point them back to higher end offers. So what we're going to do with this, so this is just kind of a rough idea of blueprinting. Now, as we go through, I'm actually going to fill in some more details, and we're going to use a made-up niche. In fact, we're going to use crochet, just because my wife happens to be getting into crocheting quite a bit. And I was looking at how she's learning it online, and it is fascinating. There are people out there with YouTube videos that have over 1 million hits with crochet. It's amazing. So she's finding these people, and they're not marketing at all. They're just doing crocheting, just showing people how to do it. And it's really a fascinating niche. So it's not one we're going to get into. It's more one you can definitely get into. But we're going to use crochet as an example, and we're actually going to build out sales funnel blueprint as we go through the rest of this. But when we talk about blueprint, this is what we're talking about, actually thinking through the process and what happens when somebody says yes or no, and does that conflict with some other earlier message? Does the offer make sense? All that sort of fun stuff. So again, we'll go through that, and we're going to come back to this, but at least so that you understand what the blueprinting process is all about. Now, the very second thing that we're going to consider is how they're getting into the funnel. Okay, so this is referred to as tripwires, or welcome mats. We like the welcome mat because it seems a little more friendly. But the welcome mat, the whole way of that we think through a sales funnel is it's sort of like a retail process. Like if you're literally going into a store, and so we consider that sales funnel the store, and we need them to get inside the store in order for the store to actually function. Okay, so you walk into a Best Buy, it's a machine that you're walking into, and a sales funnel online is no different. It's a machine, it's a virtual machine, but you're walking into it, you're voluntarily going into this machine, and you're going to get processed through that machine. So when you walk into a Best Buy or one of the big box retailers, you're walking into some place that's got all of these different departments that are laid out. They're laid out for a particular reason. There's a path that goes through the store. I mean, if you even think about a grocery store is a complete machine. There's a reason why the milk is where it is. There's a reason why the fruits and vegetables are up front. There's a reason why all this exists, and it's a particular machine that's built to get you to go through it in a perfect way so that you buy the most. So it essentially, again, it is a sales funnel. It's an offline sales funnel, but it's a sales funnel. And so that's how we think about them online too. So what is the welcome mat? Okay, this little point right here that we need to get them to go, oh, that's interesting. Let me enter the machine. Let me go into the sales funnel. So it's an introductory offer, something that introduces either yourself or your company, or again, even this particular channel that you've got. It's a relative low barrier to entry. What we mean by relative is it's not something that has to be free. Like that one I just planned offhand really quickly was, let's just do an opt-in. So yes, it can be an opt-in. It can be something free. It can be something that's $7. It can be something that's $27. It can be something that's $97. It's just sort of relative to whatever market that you're going after. So if you look at your competition and you see a bunch of sales funnels that are all around the $7 range, probably a good place to start is around there. The offer itself should be simple and focused, and that's focused specifically to where the traffic is coming from. So this is an important tip that a lot of people miss. They might be sending from Facebook, let's say, and they might be sending from Google AdWords, and they'll send to the same landing page, right, to the same offer. Well, the mindset of somebody on Facebook is completely different than the mindset of somebody who is on Google AdWords. Somebody on Google AdWords is searching for an issue. They've got a problem. That's why they're searching. They're being proactive. They're looking for solutions. Somebody on Facebook is looking at cat pictures and videos and catching up on their best friends, whatever. And now you sort of distracted them briefly with this ad, which piqued their interest, and now they're coming over to you with this kind of like, oh, let's just go see what this is mentality, versus AdWords, which is like, hey, let me go ahead and solve this problem right now. Oh, there's an ad that does it. Let me click on it. Now I'm on the page. Let's solve the problem. So you've got two different mindsets. So the better that you match to the traffic source, the better you will actually see your conversion on those offers. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to build out, let's just say, I'm going to flip back to our Lucidchart example real quick. And I'm going to, again, we're going to use crochet. So let's just pretend that we're doing a little Facebook ad, and this Facebook ad is all about a course. So we're going to do a Facebook PPC ad. Type back in here. And this is going to be free. I don't even know how to spell crochet. Let's say that's it. Free crochet course. Okay, so then it's going to go to an opt-in. All right, so we're going to do the free crochet course. It's going to go to a landing page. It's going to request an email opt-in. That's kind of like our introductory offer. It's not making us any money, but it is getting somebody into the sales funnel, right? We've welcomed them into this virtual machine that we're building. From there, let's do a $7 offer. And for this $7 offer, what it's going to be, let's say the opt-in offer, let's make it a PDF of a certain pattern. Okay, so let's say it's a PDF of how to make a tablet cover. Okay, so a PDF of how to crochet a tablet cover. So this will be instructions and pictures and all that sort of fun stuff. Now the $7 offer, we could make a video of that tablet cover. Okay, so we've got an opt-in for like, hey, here's a free crochet course on how to build a tablet cover. In fact, that's actually what we'd make the ad, and we would mention that, so that when they come to this page, it goes, okay, PDF tablet cover, great. That's exactly what I came here for. Let me just opt in for it. I got it. Hey, by the way, if you'd like, we can give you a video tour of how to actually do this, and you can see us actually crochet it. A little top-down camera view, pretty simple to set up with a GoPro camera, and you can record it and then actually crochet it. So now you're following the same PDF they just opted in for. It's super huge value, huge value. It's a no-brainer offer at $7. Okay, so now we've got them past the welcome mat, and we're already into, as I get ahead of myself here, step 3. This is the would you like stage. Okay, now this is the one that you're familiar with: upsells, downsells, left, right. You say yes, you say no, it doesn't really matter. You get asked for something else. That's kind of what this is, and it's all offers that relate to the one before, and ideally are all part of the same funnel. Obviously, they're not completely disjointed, and they have to relate in some way, shape, or form. They help move the process forward, and they have to make sense. So as we use that video as an example, this is where it comes to this little production tip here. And please, if you're going to be stretching for one idea, this is it. When I learned this was one of my one ideas about 3 years ago, and it was repurposing content. When I heard somebody talk about this, I was like, wow. Not only can I create a blog post, right, but I can actually go through and create a PDF of that blog post. Now I can read that PDF, and then I got an audio, and then I can actually go through and make slides out of it, and I can go through and read those slides on a video. Now I got a screencast out of it. And so from that one effort of creating a blog post, I got 4 other pieces of content. Each of those has value to somebody, and the values are different, right? So we go back to our Lucid chart, and you can see this would be that first little, would you like offer. So would you like our $7 course video? You can actually get a video. So it's the same thing. It highly relates to what they were coming in here for initially, which was, okay, I'm learning. I can see this free thing about how to get a tablet cover. I'm kind of curious about it. What is it? Oh, okay, it looks like just as an email and it's a PDF. Great, I can do that. I opt in for it, and it goes, okay, great. We've gone ahead and delivered it with your email. By the way, if you'd like, we've got this $7, this whole video that's about, half hour long, whatever it is, and it shows you step by step how to do the tablet cover, including the annoying little part where you got to do the button, where most people get stuck. And we'll show you a couple of tricks that we figured out as we went through. It's like, okay, how much is that? $7. $7 is a no-brainer, right? It makes no sense to say no. These are the kind of offers you want to create. The offers where you sort of have to convince yourself, like, why would you not take that? I mean, come on, it's $7 and it's a video, and it supports that PDF. Okay, so that's how you're going to build all of your offers. So let's go through and let's repurpose another one here. Go back to Lucid Chart real quick. So let's say they say yes. Okay, so now we've got an upsell course, and we want to upsell them into something that's in the $37 range. Now these numbers, okay, so I'm kind of wondering, hey, where am I getting all these numbers from? I'm just pulling them out of the air. Swear to you, this is what the numbers are. Pulling them out of the air, we're going through and we're saying, okay, here's what these numbers are going to be. Now, once we get all these numbers built out, we're going to figure out if the numbers work or not. So if X amount of people opt in and X percentage of those people buy and X percentage of those people buy the upsell, how much money am I making per person that goes through the funnel? And is that going to be mathematically enough that I can afford to pay for the advertising? And if it is, and you're making money, awesome. Then you just scale up. If it's not and you're losing money, funnel doesn't work. You either have to switch the offer, or you've got to switch the price points, or you've got to switch your traffic source, but somehow you got to optimize it. So we measure everything. But in this case, let's say we're going for a $37 product. And you know what I'm gonna do? Let's do this. Let's do a $21 product, and I'll show you why I'm gonna do that in a second. And let's say this is 5, let's make it 7 videos. So let's do 7 more videos, okay? Now, obviously, there's content production involved. We all sort of realize that. We are business owners, and we're building a business. But let's say that as we're doing this video for this one tablet cover, you've got another video that covers how to make a laptop cover. There's another video that talks about how to make oven mitt. There's another video that talks about spoon rest, another video that talks about whatever else. You get the idea. So you've got all these little videos. So what happens is you go, hey, listen, I've got these 7 videos. They're all worth, you know, we normally sell them at $19. They're all worth, for you, I'm gonna give you all 7. So 19, you know, again, the whole $19 times $7 is over $100 value. And we're gonna give them to you for 21 bucks. There's 2 things that are going on here. One is you've got, and I believe this is what Ryan Dice calls the bucket offer. So they kind of buck them together. It's a pretty good concept, and it does work. But essentially what's happening is people are going, okay, yeah, $19, whatever. I don't really believe the whole $19 thing because the marketers just make stuff up, right? $19 value, okay, sure it is. Could be a fake $3,000 value, whatever, right? People don't have trust when it comes to that because marketers are constantly making stuff up and putting on their pages. However, what did they just do before this step? They literally just paid $7 for a video just like the ones that you're now offering. So in their head, it's impossible to argue the logic of, well, it's at least worth $7. So 7 times 7 is $49. So this is only $21. No brainer. Okay, and you can sort of see where this makes sense and how you can craft an offer of making something almost impossible to refuse because it just makes so much sense. Why would you not just do it? It's only an extra 21 bucks and you get 7 of them, and I just bought one for $7. So I'm already, at the worst case scenario, I'm getting 50% off. And it just makes sense to move forward through that process. So that's one way to do it. Now, the downsell, you can go back and say, okay, well, you know, let's see, they don't want the video cover, so maybe you want to give them a little toolkit. So you've got a free PDF, PDF checklist. Let's say there's like a $1 checklist or something. You could do that. And this could be a PDF of tools with all of those, you know, picture, what the tool is, a little crochet tool, a little description about it, how you would use it, what projects you might use it on, and they're all full of Amazon and affiliate links. Okay, so now they're buying this PDF, but now you've got a chance to get those affiliate links, and you still got them through the funnel. So still something useful, still something they can purchase. If you wanted to, you could offer it to them for free, but if it's got some value to it, I'd always try to sell. So there's an example. Now this also could be used as an opt-in over here. So for the tablet cover, you could do an opt-in for it, which is pretty decent. So, all right, so that kind of gives you the basics, upsells, downsells, how to craft the offers, or at least how to think through them. Now, this is the exact funnel you're going to build for yourself and insert your own products here. It's not one of those sort of webinars. And the reason is because if you learn this high-end sort of formula, the recipe behind this, the thinking behind this, you're going to be able to not only create the first of your sales funnels, but you're going to be able to change and iterate it, which we're going to get to in just a second. So step 4, now this is the frequent buyers, okay? So now you go to Best Buy, they're gonna ask you if you've got your membership rewards card. If you go to Starbucks, I'm a big Starbucks member, been a gold member since 2002, it's forever ago. And so every 12 drinks I get a free drink or food or whatever it is. So there's this frequent buyers thing that retail establishments, that brick and mortar establishments offer. Now, digital marketers a lot tend to kind of go like, oh, hey, this is a brand new thing, it's the latest and greatest, and you know, we just invented this whole thing called marketing online. And it's really not. It's the same stuff that brick and mortar's been doing for a very, very long time. And so that's why we look toward a lot of the brick and mortar stuff to go, where can we get our inspiration for these? And again, frequent buyer program, same thing. Digital marketers, internet marketers, online marketers, we call it recurring. Okay, these are the membership programs. So you've got this subscription-based income. So if you have a physical product, this might be something that if you do like, you know, supplements or something along those lines, you can do a physical recurring shipment of every 30 days you get XX or Y, whatever it is that they happen to purchase. It could be a subscription to get a new video each and every month, right? So we talked about our crochet videos, get a new video each month. You could have exclusivity, okay? This is one thing that makes it a lot better of an offer, making sure that, hey, that you're the ones that are going to get this, or you're the first ones that are going to get access to this information. You want to make sure that they're producing some sort of update, so it keeps people kind of on that cutting edge because people like having that. And then again, if you want to give group discount. So normally this would be $27, but for you, I'm going to do it for $10 a month. The production tip again is repurposing. So let's go back to the Lucid chart here. Give me just a second. And on the Lucid charts, let's go ahead back. And this is why these are so helpful to us, because they help us think through the funnel. So we're going to go back and let's say we're going to add this other step in here. So we're going to do some recurring. So let's go back and let's say they say yes to the 7 videos. We can actually do another front end, keep them in that front end. And the front end being that whole initial round through your sales funnel. Okay, so before they've completed the complete checkout process, they're just sort of seeing all the offers for the first time. Here's what they're going to see. So we got a $7 tablet. We're going to have $21 in these 7 videos that are coming up, and let's say they're going to get a new video each month. So we're going to do some sort of video club, and the video club contains the PDF and the video and support. So maybe you do like a a Facebook group or something like that. So you've got the video club, all this stuff, and that's going to be for, let's say, I don't know, you could do that micro continuity, you could do any type of pricing, but let's say it's 14 bucks a month, something like that. So 10 bucks a month, we'll keep it even numbers. So $10 a month, now you've got a recurring product that comes in. You could also make this the downsell. Oops, take that out, put that back, and move it over here. So you could, if you wanted to, make that the downsell so that your funnel look like this. Now again, this is a very, very simple funnel. The funnels that we tend to work with will have the initial offer, there's an upsell and a downsell from that offer, then there's an upsell and a downsell from each one of those offers, and normally an upsell and a downsell from each of those offers. So there's a lot of different routes that people can take through the funnel to maximize the revenue that you're getting for each visitor. But that's an example of how you could add, and again, sort of have that recurring in there. So let's go ahead back and move on to our next step here. And again, I realize there's going to be a lot of questions, so if you have them, ssm.tips/question. You'll see it also in the little sticky I put in the chat group there. And then you can just click on that, ask your question specific to your situation. It would be absolutely fine. So step number 5, this is one that people skip all the time. This is not hard to set up, though it is kind of scary, but you need to pay attention to what's going on in your funnels. And it's scary because it's new for a lot of people, right? And that's this word called retargeting. All this is little teeny, what they call pixels, and that's just tracking script. It's script from Facebook, from Google, or from display ads like Site Scout as an example. And you can create, just like if you've ever worked with something like Google Analytics, where you have to go grab your code from Google Analytics and you drop it on your website, you put it in your theme where it says drop your analytics code here, something like that. That's essentially kind of what these look like. It's just little bits of tracking code, and you go to Facebook in your ads manager, and you say, okay, I want to generate a retargeting pixel for my website, and it'll say, okay, here's your code, and you take that code and you put it in with where your analytics code is, and that way it loads up whenever somebody hits your page. And you can do the same thing with Google. Now it's different, like Google AdWords is going to be a different pixel than analytics, but you go set it up with Google AdWords if you're using Google AdWords, or even if you're not. And then you can do the same thing with places like Site Scout for display advertising. Display advertising just being the banners that people are using on websites and things like that. So you've got all these different pixels set out. Now let's say you're not advertising on Google and you're not advertising on places like Site Scout for display advertising. Why would retargeting still be something you'd want to do? The reason is because as long as you have those pixels on your page, you can actually come through here, and we're going to go back into our Lucid chart, and we can say, okay, so I'm going to drop, let me just pull up another little dot here. So I'm going to say we're going to drop a pixel, so this is going to be an FB pixel here, and we're going to drop a pixel here, and we're going to drop a pixel here. Again, you can start seeing how blueprinting this stuff out can make it a lot easier to build out later. I'm just going to get rid of this offer entirely. So let's just keep it like this. So now we've got pixels on these are each individual URLs of our web page or of our website, right? So pixel, pixel, pixel. So let's just say we've got, I'm just going to call these 1, 2, 3, and 4 because it'll keep it easier to keep track. So what will happen is as people are moving through your funnel, services like Facebook or SiteScout or Google are tracking and firing as these pixels fire. So somebody that sees the tablet cover offer that you had but doesn't buy it, doesn't opt in or doesn't buy it, they don't move through to the next stage. They've fired pixel 1, but they haven't fired pixel 2, 3, or 4. So what happens is you can go back and you can retarget those individuals. And you can say to Facebook, you could say, hey, Facebook, I would like to show a different ad, but only to the people who only saw pixel 1 but didn't see the rest of them. And so now you can do an ad that says, and this is a specific ad. This would be more of back-end offer, right? This is the actual, consider like back-end, like the second touch, or at least anything after the first touch. So now let's do free updated, let's just say it's an updated, let's keep it free. Let's just say this time it's we're doing a crochet mouse pad, which I can't imagine would actually be functional, but what the heck. So now we've got this Facebook ad that retargets. Now we knew that they were interested at one point because they clicked on this crochet course tablet offer. So there's something brought them to this page. Something was interesting to them at this point. So maybe it wasn't, they saw the tab and went, okay, never mind, I don't really need that for tablet cover. I was kind of interested, but I'd really rather have it a mouse pad. So now you can do mouse pad offers, right? So here's how to do a mouse pad. And then, I think I got the word tablet. So then you've got only these people seeing this ad. These other people don't see the ad. People who never saw this page don't see the ad. And so what happens is the way that you buy ads, you're paying for the impressions of the ads that are out there. Well, if you're retargeting, you're targeting a very, very small group of people. You're not targeting millions and millions of people. You're just targeting the people who saw this page. So depending upon your traffic, that's a few thousand people. And it's super cheap to hit those people because it's only a few thousand people. So you can afford to spend big budgets worth of money because Facebook really isn't going to be able to spend it all because it's such a tiny group of people. And you could focus a very specific message to whatever their mindset was. And then you can continue that process throughout the entire funnel. And people that make a lot of money on display or on sales funnels in particular, they do retargeting. They do it really, really well because this is sort of that's their secret sauce in essence. They'll come through and they'll say, okay, well, let's do another ad. And again, let's say this is a whole Facebook traffic-oriented funnel. I'm going to connect the dots. So I'm going to do this ad here, which means people that opted in but did not purchase the video. So now you could say something like, hey, sorry you missed it. Get it. Maybe there's $1 now. Maybe it's only $1 trial or something. You could call it. Okay, check out this video for $1. If you like it, we'll charge you $6 in a week. Something along those lines. So now you've got a totally different offer. And again, it just is the ad is different and it's targeted specifically to people who saw the ad, opted in, saw the sales page, but did not buy. And because that ad is so targeted, you can have a very specific conversation to those people. And you continue that process. So you've got another ad that you can set up, that you should set up, that'll come through here and just target the people that are in this particular pixel. We move some of these over. And then another one that will target these. And you can sort of see how you can have very specific. So this one might be, 50% off. Maybe you offer it at, discounts are kind of an easy one to throw in there. You can just try those. But so maybe you do a 50% off thing. This one could also be a $1 trial, for the club. So people aren't really sure if they like it or not. And this is something, again, where you might say, okay, I'm going to retarget people this offer. I'm going to retarget them, the ones that saw the offer but did not buy the continuity, the recurring part of this, the subscription part. I'm going to give them time to use my products. Maybe that's why they didn't do the recurring. Maybe they're going through I opted in for this, I bought the video, I bought the bucket offer of all these other videos, but I really want to go through them and see if they're quality. I want to see if I like this crocheting. I want to see if the quality of the videos are good. I want to see if they're useful to me before I commit to doing a recurring program. So that's where this ad can come back after 2 weeks and say, hey, I want to go ahead and start showing the ad to these people at this specific time and say, hey, listen, sorry you missed it. There's a dollar trial, come back to the offer, or even just the same offer price point. Of course, the other way that you can sort of do this whole retargeting thing, following up through autoresponders. Now, autoresponders are great, and you're familiar with names like Aweber, MailChimp. They do a great job on autoresponders. From a business standpoint, and I realize that as you're starting out, you have very little budget. You want to make sure that you're keeping your money kind of close because obviously it's, especially in the world of internet marketing, it's very, very quick to you can lose everything really quickly and charge up the credit cards because everyone's got the next greatest thing that's $17 or $7, and eventually they all add up into hundreds of dollars, and then you start spending hundreds of dollars on training courses or thousands, and it can add up really, really quickly. So obviously you don't want to put too much too fast, but as quickly as you can, your goal is to move away from autoresponders like that and into something called CRMs or customer relationship managers. These are things with a little more juice. They're Infusionsoft, they're Ontraport, and then there's even something called AW Pro Tools that came out last year that you can tie into Aweber. It's a nice little kind of a middle ground. And essentially what these do, the big difference between this and a typical autoresponder is these will allow you to tag individuals so that in your actual email series, when you're going to follow up, you can change the conversation based on how people are reacting. So in an email series, if you said, hey, I noticed that you got, let's go back to our Lucid chart here. And let's do a little email series. So we'll make this a document. So this is email 1. And this is like I'm just going to come through here, build these out really quickly. Okay, so we've got email 1, email 2. So email 1 might be something similar to, let's say they opt in for the tablet cover, delivers the tablet cover to them. And then if they bought this one, it wouldn't mention anything about this offer. But if they did not buy it, you could actually send out email 1 that says, here's your tablet cover offer. Make sure you take a second to go through and take advantage of our video upgrade. So take a second to look at the PDF and then make sure you take advantage of our video upgrade for the $7 thing. Because again, it knows, the system knows they didn't purchase it. So you can ask them, because you wouldn't want to ask somebody to buy something that they already bought because it destroys rapport. And think about it, even though it's virtual and people kind of get away with it virtually, but think about it if you were at Best Buy and somebody said, hey, here's this TV, would you like to buy a remote control? And you say, yes, I would like to upgrade and I want the one with the remote control. And they go, great, now would you like the remote control? And you're kind of like, what? Like, it makes no sense. Why would they ask you twice? And yet we do it all the time with internet marketing. And mostly just because we're kind of lazy and we let the tools kind of do what they can do. And some of them are limited, admittedly. But with this new technology that's out there, it's not that hard. With things like Infusionsoft, Ontraport, AW Pro Tools, again, will allow you to do it, where you basically can move people to different segments of your email list. And you can cater the conversation. Now, it does require thought. You need to think through this. This is where blueprints come in. And you can say, okay, so I'm going to bring these out a little bit. Let's put these here. Just going to bring these down here. And you can say, okay, email number 1, that's going to happen when, and I'm going quickly here, but you can always make this prettier. So email number 1 would come through and it's going to talk to, let's call it email 1A. And this is how you're going to be planning out campaigns. Email 1B might only be triggered after they purchase. Oops, grab this here. After they purchase just this offer, but not another one. And you can kind of continue this whole conversation and build out your email series. So I know that I'm trying to cover an awful lot, and normally I try to keep these to 20 minutes. This was impossible today, and we still have more to cover, so I'm going to move on. But if you have questions over, how you might cater this stuff, just let me know. Okay, the one thing you want to avoid with all of this is the idea of complacency. Complacency is horrible, okay? And this is that step 7. This is the one that you absolutely want to avoid complacency, because step 7 is all about action. You have to take action. The market is constantly changing. So even if you get a sales funnel that works, you've got to go back and you got to split test it. And you've got to keep growing, because if you're not split testing And if you're not changing different offers, different price points, different headlines, different autoresponders, if you're not constantly adjusting your sales funnel to make sure that it's at its peak, you are going to be losing ground. Okay, metrics light the way. So think about yourself in this dark tunnel. Without a flashlight, it's very difficult to get through it. When you've got a little bit of light, it gets a whole lot easier, and metrics light up that way. So that means putting things like Google Analytics on your site. You also want to make sure that you're checking stuff. There's Google Analytics, there's Heap, there's Patty Track. Let me give you this. I'll give you this little hack real quick, just so you can see it. Go here. This is for those of you who have Analytics installed. This is great and it's free. They have a paid version, but we have yet to actually have to use it. But it's a company called Patty Track. You connect it to your Google Analytics account, and then you can literally measure your funnels. You just set up a goal funnel in here, and if you've never really figured out Google Analytics and goals and how the whole thing works together, you don't need to anymore, because you can go with Patty Track. You connect Patty Track into your Analytics, which is very simple. You just basically sign up and connect it. It's very simple. And then you go and you tell Patty Track what the URLs are of the goal, and it will build out these little graphical representations of what's happening with your sales funnel. Super cool, completely free. Again, they do have a paid version if you want some of the advanced reporting. We have yet to actually need that, and we do this for a living. So, you know, if you feel like upgrading, you can, but again, you don't have to, and it's an incredible free resource. So I would say something like Patty Track, that is a huge help when it comes to measuring what's going on with your funnels. Now, the secret that everyone with successful sales funnels, the one that they all share, okay, this is the one secret, and it's so sad that it's a secret, especially because, you know, people make courses all the time with this stuff, right? The secret is they all take work, all of them. And I'm not talking about like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna spend like an afternoon, build a sales funnel, I'll be a millionaire tomorrow. That's not the kind of work I'm talking about. I'm talking about the, oh my God, I failed again. Oh my God, this still isn't working. Oh, I'm so frustrated, I want to pull my hair out kind of work. Because that's what separates out successful marketers from those who just kind of really want a hobby that turns them into a millionaire magically overnight, right? And all of us have some way, shape, or form been that person where you're sort of going like, oh, I just really want to try the next new thing, or, you know, let's go for something that, oh, this is supposed to be easy, I'll go ahead and do it. And it turns out it's a little harder than we thought, and we kind of move on to the next new thing that's supposed to be easy, and everyone goes through this. But at the end of the day, when you realize, like, okay, this sales funnel didn't work, the idea I had didn't work, nobody took it, I can't even get people to opt in for a free offer. And we go through this all the time. We go through this even now. But now we expect it. We understand we're going to. And it's just a part of the feedback. We ask the market, we present a funnel, we ask the market, okay, here's what we think they're going to like. So we just ask them, here it is, we're going to send traffic to it. And everybody kind of does a big giant thumbs down and doesn't buy anything and doesn't opt in for anything. And it's frustrating to go through. But because we expect it, we don't take it as that failure. It doesn't have the sting. It's just like, okay, well, this is what the work part of it is. Like, internet marketing is still work. And when you consider it work, you can still have fun with it. It still offers all the benefits of the lifestyle business and everything else. But it doesn't, you know, and you've got all these different resources that you wouldn't necessarily have, like outsourcing, you know, all this different stuff that internet marketers can do because we work in this online business. But it still takes work. And as long as you expect that, when you have this quote-unquote failure, which is really just unexpected results, right? You thought it was going to do well, turns out it didn't. Okay, why not? Let's try version 2, version 3, version 4. Like, we all understand here internally with everybody at Seriously Simple Marketing that when we do something, we know that whatever version this is, whether it's copywriting or a funnel or an offer or an opt-in or whatever it is, we all know this is version 1 of what will be hundreds of versions. So that helps us for 2 reasons. One is because we just don't get caught up in the paralysis by analysis, so at least not as often. We used to, you know, still occasionally do, but most of the time we kind of knock ourselves out of that because we go, okay, wait a second, why am I getting attached to making the perfect offer? Because it doesn't matter. A year from now, this will be totally different because we're going to evolve it, because we don't know the answers. The market does. And because we don't have that, this is the second thing it helps us with, because we don't have that paralysis by analysis, we're able to iterate faster. We don't feel the sting of failure. I mean, you sort of notice it, don't get me wrong, like it sucks when something doesn't work, but you can still go through them and be like, okay, you know what, didn't work, we knew that was a possibility, let's figure out why it's not working, and let's try this, let's try that, let's try this, let's try that, and you keep doing that over and over and over again, and all of a sudden, lo and behold, it just sort of works one day, and you're like, wow, okay, whatever that was, everybody stop. Whatever that was, that's the offer we want to do. Now let's work on the upsells. And you kind of go through and you change upsells, you know, if they aren't working, or you improve different offers. And then you go back and you try to, you know, improve the original offer with a little, maybe headline switches or different layouts or whatever. But they all take work. So as soon as you sort of resolve your fact, or resolve yourself to the fact that it's going to be work and there's going to be effort and it's not going to work right away, then, you know, that makes it so much easier. Like when I was training in sales, I used to tell my salespeople, go through, do your 100 calls. If you accidentally sell something, awesome, but that's not the goal. The goal is to get it down. So for sales funnels, it's the same thing. Go out there and build sales funnels, and don't stop building sales funnels. Don't stop practicing building sales funnels until you're done your 100th sales funnel, and that's a lot. That's a lot of sales funnels. What will happen is if you accidentally sell something along the way, awesome, but that's not the goal. The goal is to learn sales funnels, is to learn what the market teaches you. Okay, so let's go back into that hack I was telling you about. This is the little, this is our little golden treasure chest. So when we talked about Gliffy, that we use Lucidchart, but there is this thing called Gliffy. This is treasure. So I'm putting this here, treasure chest, big deal. Let me show you how this works. So I'm going to jump into Google, and this is why we do not use Gliffy. So you can use Gliffy because I think actually it's free, but this is why we do not use Gliffy. And instead to use Lucidchart. So I'm going to go back into Google. Here's what you do. You go to site, and then Gliffy, which is just a flowcharting site, gliffy.com, and then type in sales funnels. So now you see all these here. These are all other people's sales funnels because they're all indexed by Google. And so we're going to go through here and let's just choose this one. Let's see what this is. Some of these will be useful, some of them won't. But look at that. There's somebody's sales funnel. So if you want to go in here and you want to get an idea of what other people are doing, talk about a cheat sheet. So now you don't have to, maybe this is the one idea. This is the one thing you should really take from this whole webinar, because this makes it all worth it. Everything I was trying to explain to you, you got questions over, man, how do I figure out the offer, or how could I possibly figure out the price points? Go find what other people are doing and then model those. That's where you can get your start. So you can kind of see that you've got business owners, podcasters. That's kind of interesting. He's got some podcasting funnels in there. Let's take a look at this one. So here's another one that's got tripwires, core offers. Okay, so this one's modeling Ryan Dice's and Perry Belcher's system. So this one goes from they do a lead magnet. They're even using the same term. So a lead magnet, the 8-minute course. So that's probably an opt-in. Then it's a $9. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but you know what? They even hyperlinked it. How cool for us. Let me see what's there. Oh, they took it down. So a lot of times they just build these out in the back end. Some of these times the links will work, some won't, but it doesn't matter because it still gives you the idea of, okay, hey, if they go no, there's another one. They say yes, they go to $69. They go yes, they go to a double the order. So this is something where it's a physical product. Then they double the order. They get, buy another one, I'll give you another one for free type of thing. Then they go to the back end. You can see what the downsells are. Let's go back in here. See, this one is healing ADD. Let's see if there's anything on that. Oh, it's huge. Look at that. Look at all that. They were so kind to note it out. Okay. So this is Dr. Amen. So now this is an incredibly well-known health expert. So Dr. Daniel Amen. I'm guessing it's Daniel Amen, probably is. But so we'll go through here, and it may not be Dr. Daniel Amen, maybe somebody else, but either way, look at all this stuff that you can learn. You can go through here and say, okay, here's an email. They've got notes on how their copy points are. The ADD, there's the opt-in, there's a sales letter, there's another sales letter that goes to a back-end sales page. So we've got video tips. Now Gliffy's cool because you can kind of do all this stuff and build this stuff out. Obviously you saw how Lucidchart kind of works. You can do similar things with Lucidchart. You can do different colors and whatever else if that's your thing. But we really like Gliffy because you can search it. So we don't use it ourselves because you can search it. We don't want our client stuff getting out there, but lots of other people use it. And let's go through here. I'm going to do one more. So let's do Sage Tech. And then I'm going to jump into questions because I know we're running out of time. So there's an example of a funnel. So some of these may be better than others for what you're looking for, but it does give you some ideas. And it gives you this huge step up into learning all about sales funnels. So with that, that was your little treasure. That was the unexpected bonus for being on the webinar today. So I want to thank you again for joining Digital Marketing this week from Seriously Simple Marketing, and we'll talk to you next week.